So in this video I'm going to show you how I build a room in Sketchup using handwritten plans like this that you can see now. So this is just from one of my clients, a kitchen company, and they provide very rough hand-drawn sketches when they're doing an initial measure up for a client. So this is what I use to base the Sketchup model on. So you can see that they've got all the different wall lengths, the little details of the nibs, windows, doors, that sort of thing. So we're going to, when we finish, end up with something that looks like this, with all these windows and doors here. So let's go over to our new blank SketchUp file and we'll get started. So the first thing I do is create a top-down 2D view, which is how I like to build the room. So I prefer to work in 2D rather than 3D. It just makes life a little bit more simple. So go up to the top left, right click where it says scene 1 and then click add. So this is adding a scene, which is just basically a viewpoint. Then you go over to the top here, this sort of little cube on the view menu, and that's your top down view. So left click that. So now you're looking from above. So next I'm going to make sure that we're in parallel projection mode. And I'll just move over to our other file so I can explain what that is. So as you can see, we're on a top-down view there, and this is in perspective mode. And if I go up to this menu here, the camera menu, and I left click, you can see here parallel projection at the top and perspective. So if I click parallel projection, you can see then it's a much flatter image, which is what I want to use for moving the cabinets around. So if I just grab this cabinet here, you can see what I mean. Basically I'm just moving things around on a 2D plane, and there's nothing wrong with working in 3D, but for speed and simplicity I much prefer working in 2D. So let's jump back to our blank file now, and you can see from these axes that we're in parallel projection. We're in perspective and we want to change to parallel projection. So we're looking from the top down, flat on. Now I want to change this to just a black and white screen. I just prefer working like that. So what we do is we bring up the default tray, and then from here we go to styles, which is just one second. Just get rid of rid of the materials. Just close that. So from this little drop-down menu under Styles, you want to click in Model, this one here. And then the one I would normally use is this one here called Shaded 2. So I just click that, and what that does is it removes the axis from being visible, and it also just makes things in black and white, which is what I want. So this plan is all in millimeters. So all these numbers here are in mil. So we'll start by putting this wall here. So we've got a length of 3612. So what we need to do is go back to our blank SketchUp model, and we're going to use the line tool, which is this pencil here. So I'm going to click it once, and I'm going to click on the origin point, which is the intersection of the axis. So clicking on that, and then I'm going to drag the pencil to the right along the red axis. You can see if I move it out of the red axis, it's something that we don't want to do. So it will keep on the red axis unless you move it significantly. So it's quite easy to keep on there, but just make sure you do. So without clicking anything else, you just type in your number pad 3612 or whatever measurement it is. So 3612 and press enter. And then you can see here that it's jumped to the next point, and the pencil tool is still active and ready to put the next measurement in. So if we go over to our sketch plan, we can see that we're going to come down now 315 for this little nib. So this time we move it down and it sticks to the green axis, and then we type in 315 and enter. So we're not having to press the left mouse button at all once we've started. You simply move the line tool and type in the number. So we're going to come across here 140, which is the thickness of the little nib. And we're going to go back up 305. So just moving it up, type in 305. And then we're going to come along 325. I'm just going to press spacebar now to get out of the line tool for a minute, because there's something I want to do, which is to hide the axis, because we don't need it anymore and it's just getting in the way. So using the scroll wheel, scroll down to zoom out, scroll up to move in, so it just helps us get our reference point. So the next dimension is this 1020, but we're going to ignore the indent of the window here. We don't need these measurements. We're simply going to put a line straight across, and then once the wall is built, we're going to push the window in as far as we want. So we just come straight across 1020. So activate the line tool again. Click on the end point so it'll snap into position. Click once, move it along the red axis, and then type in 1020, or whatever the window is, and press enter. And then we're going to carry on doing that. So we've got another, what's this, 300. Got 870 for the door. So just moving it and typing the number in. Then 765 to the corner. You can see how quick it is once you get going. I'm going to speed up a bit now to finish the room off. So down 1120, another window 1596, down 1120, just zoom out a bit, and then we've got this little corner here, we come in 220, and then we come down 208, 3269, come up 1293, and then we've got this 140 thickness of the nib, down 335. We've got the door, which is 855. Oops, just type that in again, 855, enter. You can see on the bottom right, it shows where you're typing it in. And then we come across to the end, which is 2774. Or another way, when you reach the end of a room, just keep it along whichever axis you're on, hold the shift button down, and then move the pencil up to the other line, and it will finish in line with it. So we're slightly out here, but that's because there's probably some problem with the room, the wall's out or something, but that always happens. And so then we want to come up 765. So let's click on the pencil tool again, 765. And then we've got a window, 1028. Last measurement, 1218. But what we're going to do is just move the pencil up. It will snap to the end point. And then if you click inside, you can see that we've closed our walls now. So the next thing we're going to do is create the wall thickness and then extrude the walls. So I'm going to click on our other scene now. And for this, we're going to use the offset tool. So just click on the floor in the middle anywhere so it's highlighted, and then you want this tool on the left. This is the offset tool. Just click it once, then move the cursor anywhere near to the object. You can see this little red square sort of following the arrow, so it's snapped to the boundaries of what we've just created. So just click once, and then you just pull the mouse to wherever you want the wall thickness to be. But if you want a precise measurement, before you click anything, just type in the depth that you want. In this case, it's 200 mil. So I'm typing in 200, you can see on the bottom right there, and simply press enter, and then it snaps to the thickness that you want. And so the next thing we want to do is extrude the walls. So click anywhere within the walls. So click here so it's highlighted, and then we're going to use the push-pull tool to push it up, which is this one here. So click it once, then click once within the wall again, and then move the mouse up and Again, you don't need to click, you just type in whatever height you want the wall to be. In this case it's 2400, so type in 2400, press enter, and now you can see that our wall is 2400. Right, at this point I'm going to hide the axis again because they're just in the way now. So you go up to view, axis, and that's out the way, and then update the scene. So every time we come back we're not going to see the axes. Right, let's put some windows and doors into the model. So let's just have a look. What are the windows and what are the doors? So we'll start off with this one. We've got a window, the 1021. So as you can see, because we were adding all the different points when we made the lines, once we've extruded the walls, each of those separate points has created a line on the wall, which a vertical line that is, which makes it really easy to put the windows and doors in because we've already got the set measurements. So we know this is the window, so that's going to be 1020. And just to quickly check that with the tape measure tool, there you go, 1020. So what we need to do is put the heights in. So unless I've got any other information, I normally place a window 1050 millimeters above the floor. So how we do that is we go to our tape measure tool on the left, we click once at the bottom, move the mouse up along the blue axis, and then just type in 1050 and press enter. And now for the actual height of the window itself, with the tape measure tool still activated, just move it so the little red square snaps onto the guideline, click once, push along the blue axis, and then type in 1100 or whatever height you want the window to be, and press enter. Then next we want the rectangle tool, and then just click in one corner where the little red cross appears, pull it down to the other one, and then click a second time. Now to make the actual window whole, we want to use the push-pull tool, which is this one here. So you click on it, then move it over to the window area that we've just made, click once, and then push outwards, and it will stop when it hits the outside of the wall. And then click a second time, and then that has made our window. Normally that second face won't be there, but sometimes you have to delete it in addition. I'm going to press G to delete the guides now, and then we're going to put our door in, which is here. Now for doors I normally use 2050 as the standard door height. So we're going to go to our tape measure tool, make sure it's on the bottom, move it along the blue axis, and then just type in 2050, press enter, then line tool, just to draw a little line along the guide, highlight the door area, press on the push-pull tool, click once, move it so it's at the back of the wall, click again, and you can see this time it deleted the outside face automatically. Delete the guide, give it a quick save. Window. Now one little tip when you're making your models is to use shortcut keys. It's really important. So although I've been showing you which tools I've been using from the menu, it's so much quicker and easier for your workflow if you assign each of these tools a shortcut key. I'll show you how to do that in another video, but for the sake of this room plan, I am going to be using shortcut keys now. So I'm going to press T for the tape measure tool, move it up, 1050 to the bottom of the window, move it along the blue axis, type 1100, press enter, R for rectangle tool, draw a little rectangle, P for push pull, and you can see how quick it is. Door here, so T for tape measure, move it along the blue axis, type in 2050, enter, L for line tool, P for push pull, and there's our door. I'm going to have to do a little bit of adjustment on the wall there, but yeah, you can see how quickly and easily that works. And then we've got one more window here, So tape measure tool, move it along the blue axis, 1050, enter, lock it onto the guide. Up we go again, 1100, R for rectangle tool, make your square, P for push pull, and then just delete the back face if it doesn't delete automatically. Delete your guides, and there we go. So now we've got the walls built and all of our openings. Next stage is to group the floor and the walls. So if you double click on the floor, right click and press group, and then treble click on the wall, press group, and that's going to help when we're placing our cabinets, because we don't want open geometry. Well, we don't want it at all. It's always best practice to group things in SketchUp whenever you can. So let's start with this window here. So for my windows and doors, mostly I use saved components, which I've either made myself or downloaded from the 3D warehouse. So we want to open our components tray up. So if we go to Window, Components and Show Tray, I've actually got a shortcut key for that, which I just press C or Shift and C. So all of these are different categories of models which I've made or saved. So we want to go to Windows. They're just basically folders. So if I click Windows, you can see here are generic windows, again, which are commonly found in the UK. So you can build up your own Windows library. It just makes it easier, or you can use a plugin. Some people do, but I find it quicker just to use saved components. So this one looks about right, this 3-pane one. So we're going to flip that around and then just move it into place. By the way, to flip it that easily, that's a little extension. I'll put a link to that down below. So in order to get that to fit, just simply use a scale tool. So click on it. The scale tool is this one here. I've got a shortcut key for that, which is S. Find this little box here and then just literally pull it to size. And then what I normally do is move it back so we've got a bit of a sill. So just click on the edge and it should snap back into place. Right, let's put our other window in. We've got two. So this time, rather than use something from the 3D warehouse, I'm going to use an extension which I often use if it's just a single window pane, because it's really easy and quick to put a bespoke size window in. And the extension is called 1001 Bit Tools, and it's basically a plugin which gives you loads of different tools, but I find the Windows Creator the most helpful of the lot. So you find it from your extensions menu, then you navigate down to the flyout submenu and go down to Windows and Doors. Actually, before that, I need to draw a little rectangle which forms the basis of the window. So let's go back up to Extensions, 1001 Bit Tools, Doors and Windows, and then you want to click on Create Window Frame. Here you can sort of change all the thickness of the frame. You can have a beveled edge, you can have a beveled edge within a frame, double glazing, but if you just keep on the simple one, I normally just keep on the standard settings, click on Create Window Frame, click anywhere on the rectangle you've just made, and there's your window. So the only thing it doesn't do is create the material for the glass, but all I'm going to do here is just copy it from this window which I put in over here. So let's highlight where the glass should be. And then I'm going to bring up our materials tray. And then we're going to use the pipette to copy the color from the first window. So with that activated, just click anywhere on the glass. You can see this material here changes to glass and the paint bucket tool appears. And then click on the window and there you go. And now it's glass. So just to show you that whole procedure again, draw a rectangle, up to Extensions, 1001 Bit Tools, Doors and Windows, Create Window Frame, Create Frame, that's it. And just double click it and then make it glass. It's that easy and quick. Right, so let's put our doors in. These are also saved components. So let's get our components tray up. I'm just going to use my shortcut key, navigate to the doors folder, which is just there. By the way, all of these saved components I'll make available to my paid subscribers. You can get them off the 3D warehouse, but I'm happy to give you what I've got. So this is the back door, and I would normally use a PVC sort of white door with a glazed top panel, just like that. So let's move him into place, just with the move tool, snap him there. And again with the scale tool, just pull him into place. And then for the internal door here, I would normally use just a 6-panel door, which is this one here. Flip him around, grab the bottom, and then let's get one corner in, scale tool, and you sort of have to sort of find where the middle square is. Right, I'll better explain that a bit better. So let's hide the wall. So if we click that, enable the scale tool, you can see that there you have little green boxes on each corner and in the middle. So you want to get the middle one and then use that to scale it to size. If you were to use this one here, you're going to change the depth as well, which you don't want. So always use the middle one. And when the component is like hidden in a wall and you use the scale tool, wherever you hover the cursor over, you can actually pick up the square where it is, even though it's hidden. And then just move it. And there we go, our door's in place. Okay, so that's it. So now we have our room built. We can start adding some cabinets. Hope that was helpful.